What's up YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we have a video where we're going to compare 7 different Sportster exhausts. So I did this about a year ago and it was a very popular video and people have requested a follow-up with different brands, different exhausts. So here I am with 7 different Sportster exhausts from companies like Kinetic, which is fairly new to me, S&S, we got some Cobras, we have Bassani, we have D&D. So we're going to compare them and just see how they sound. This video is only really going to focus on the sound of the exhaust and not anything else. We're not comparing dyno sheets from any of these exhausts. We're not comparing horsepower or torque gains. So before we get started, my criteria for sound is really still the same as last year. I'm really looking for that great potato idling sound. Really throaty, very deep and boomy, bassy. Personally, I prefer a really hard chop. That's kind of what I love. Your preferences might be different than mine, so just keep that in mind as we watch this video. But in the end, I'm going to share 2 of my least favorite and 2 of my favorites. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get going.
She sounds real good at idle. So it's a nice deep throaty tone. It is kind of loud, I will give you that. So it's not going to be, you know, for those people that are looking for a more quiet exhaust. Going through my neighborhood riding with this thing, I basically try and keep it as quiet as possible, which is a little difficult. I mean, it's a loud exhaust. And then we get it from all angles around the bike, just so you guys can hear it from different angles. All right, let's rev it up a little bit.
All right, so welcome back. So we had a lot of tuned to exhausts, tuned to one exhausts. I'll start off by saying, personally, I prefer tuned to two exhausts on a Sportster. I think they just sound better. But I know that with the tuned to one, you get better performance. But like I said, we're just judging the sound. So let's start with my least favorite of the bunch. So my vote for the least favorite out of this group has to be the S&S Super tuned to one. It just did not meet my criteria. It sounded very thin. And of course, this might sound different when you're in person versus on a video, but from what I could tell, it just really had a thin sound, didn't really impress me all that much. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to bash S&S because this is, again, this is only just a short video clip that I had. My other least favorite is probably the D&D Bobcat. This one sounded very different. It's still a great sounding exhaust, but to me, it just didn't sound like a typical Sportster, if that makes any sense. I felt like maybe it changed the characteristic of the Sportster exhaust that I'm kind of more accustomed to. Didn't really do it for me. D&D tuned to one. Again, generally I think tuned to one exhausts don't have as much full sound as a tuned to two exhaust, so they kind of have a little bit of a disadvantage right from the get-go. All right, so let's go with the runner-up to my favorite. So the runner-up to my favorite is the Cobra Speedster 909. I thought this sounded great. It had a really good, nice, hard chop when it's idle. Had a great sound when you opened up the throttle a little bit. To me, it really reminded me of the Bassani short shots, which are the exhausts that I run right now. But it almost had like a boomier, it had a bassier note. It also sounded fuller. It wasn't as mid-rangey as my short shots are. But it still had a really nice hard chop. To me, that one was like my second favorite. My favorite out of this group, this might be my new favorite exhaust sound-wise from all of the Sportsters that I've heard, is the Kinetic Vertical Twins. But to me, man, this really nails that Sportster sound. I know we're not judging the looks of it, but to me, it looks great. It has like the hardest chop to me out of any of the Sportster exhausts that we've heard. It just has every little thing. Like it has body, it has that hard chop, it has a great note to it, it has great idle, sounds great when you open up the throttle. To me, man, it just sounded really good, but it didn't feel overwhelming. To me, it just sounded great all around. That's just my opinion. To me, it checked off a lot of the boxes like I mentioned. This might be my next exhaust on the Sportster. All right, that's it for me today. Thanks for tuning in. Just an FYI, I'm going to have the links to all the videos down in the description so I can give credit to the people who own the videos. So I want to give credit to where credit is due. You can check those videos out, or you can check those channels out if you'd like. But I'm going to get out of here. And until next time, peace.